Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and what would happen if you decided to go ahead and move out of the US and go somewhere else to actually live for cheaper? Now, last night I was talking to a friend of mine and we spoke about basically, well, how much money do you think you need to actually live in America off of passive income every single year? Like, how much money would it take me to give you in passive income every single year for you not to have to work or worry about money anymore? Now, my friend landed around, by the way, my friend's name is Malvin, and Malvin landed around somewhere around $70,000, and I landed somewhere around $48,000, including my mortgage, my kids, my wife, all of my expenses, okay? That's the entire idea there. And then for a second, we thought about, well, how much would it cost for us to actually live, for example, in the country we were actually born? In that case, Dominican Republic. And then we took out the spreadsheets and did all the numbers and found that basically it would take such a minimal amount of money to live off of there and to actually get to that goal a lot quicker. So that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. And how much money do you actually need to actually go ahead and retire outside of the US, for example, Dominican Republic. And by the way, guys, I've been thinking about this for a while because basically I've been watching this channel on YouTube called Our Rich Journey, where this family of 5, including the dog, moved their entire family over to Portugal and bought a really big house with a lot of land, and they have the ability now to live there and be 100% financially free and not worry about money anymore. But if they live in the US, they would have to keep working and working and working to then eventually get to that point, okay? But if you just moved out, in that case, Portugal, like they did, Our Rich Journey, they did it very quickly, and it just feels awesome. So that's why I wanted to do all this math. And by the way, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so you should also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified. On top of that, also destroy the like button. And by the way, guys, let me know if you like the background like this, like a little bit more light and not just dark all the time. Comment down below, let me know. I want to know, I want to know what you think, okay? But overall, guys, let's talk about exactly, well, what exactly is being poor in America. Now tell me, why does this matter? It matters because basically I want to show you how a poor person here in America can live somewhere else like a rich person. In this case, my example is going to be Dominican Republic. And by the way, all the numbers here are according to the census, and they're not made up numbers that I'm just making up all of a sudden, okay? In this case, okay, in America, according to the census, you're considered to be living in poverty if you have a household that makes less than $31,275. $31,275 less than that, and you are officially in poverty. Although, for example, you have, hey, I have a kitchen, I have a stove, I can do my laundry, I have a bed to sleep in, I have internet, all this stuff, but you're still considered to be living in poverty. And that's a big difference. Well, for example, in Dominican Republic, when I ask someone, are you poor? Like, are you really struggling? The answer is, yeah. I cook literally on wood with a stove top. That's what I used to basically cook because I'm that poor. So it's a whole different level of what poor actually is in America versus what it is over there. And by the way, the average salary in a place like Dominican Republic is somewhere around 11,600 to where the top people earn around 88,700 pesos every single month. You might say, Tommy, that sounds like a lot of money. But in reality, you're talking about somewhere between 150 bucks per month to around maybe $1,500 per month, okay? It's not as much money as you actually think because basically $1 US equals 58 pesos. So when you earn $1,000 here in America every month, that's equal to around 58,000 pesos over there. So basically, even if you're living in poverty in America, that would mean an extreme level of wealth in Dominican Republic. And even, for example, if you earn half of that, maybe $18,000 every single year, that is still a top tier salary in that country. It basically gives you access to top tier stuff that you wouldn't really get in America. But guys, overall, let's go ahead and talk about exactly how much money would you need to give you $18,000 every single year in passive income if you wanted to live, for example, in Dominican Republic. And by the way, there are only 4 ways to go out there and retire, okay? Number 1, you have a job that allows you to work from anywhere. For example, you're in DR, no problem. You can earn a salary from the US while working somewhere else and using that salary to basically keep up with all of your expenses. Or for example, you have a business that allows you to work from anywhere, or you have a retirement fund big enough, or on top of that, you're willing to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm done with the US, I'm gonna go ahead and get a job over there and just live off of that income. Something I don't recommend, because basically you're not going to earn that much money and it's a lot more work, but for a lot less pay to live, like a decent life, yes, but if you had a retirement account with a lot of money, that's where the big bucks actually are. And that's what we're gonna talk about today in this video. Now, guess what, guys, okay? Let's talk about the two main sources of passive income that we mostly hear on YouTube and mostly everything when it comes to finance, okay? And it's basically the stock market and also the real estate market, okay? How many stocks do you need to go ahead and finance the amount of money you actually need in DR? On top of that, how much real estate do you need to go ahead and finance a lifestyle that you want to get in DR? On top of that, by the way, when I say DR, I mean Dominican Republic. But before I tell you exactly how much money you need, we need to understand exactly, well, what are the expenses going to be if we actually go ahead and live in DR? Well, the main expenses are going to be basically you have rent, you have food, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and on top of that, you have other expenses like miscellaneous stuff like you don't know where the money went, but you kind of spend it and you're like, oh my gosh, where's the money? Well, in reality, guys, the main expense and the biggest one is most likely going to be your rent, okay? And when it comes to rent, guys, you can actually go ahead and find an apartment in the city, Santo Domingo, for around 19,000 pesos. In this case, okay, 19,000 pesos divided by 58 with $1 is over there. In reality, 19,000 pesos is divided by 58 is more like $327 for a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath living in the city while having also a parking spot and making sure you're also safe. Now, tell me, what exactly does this look like? I want to see this apartment right here. Well, here it is, guys, okay? This right here is what $327 a month gets you in Dominican Republic. This is the house, okay? Looks pretty nice. It's the hallway. This is the parking spot. This is the kitchen. There's also like where you put your laundry and stuff like that, where you do your laundry. On top of that, this is the bedroom. Pretty nice bedroom, by the way. There's the bathroom. Nice bathroom. Does it need cleaning? Yeah, obviously, but you can fix it and stuff like that. On top of that, another bedroom. Also the patio, another bedroom. Also the living room. And then you have the entire dining area. And you also have another bedroom. In reality, guys, the point is, with $327, there is nothing you can actually find in the US is going to be anywhere close to this. Getting you 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bath. That's basically the biggest expense you're basically going to have. On top of that, you have food. $200 a month on food is going to be way more than enough, and enough to even go ahead and go out to restaurants every now and then when you actually want to. Because again, the cost of living is a lot less than what it is in America, around 43 to 45%, okay? That's how crazy it is. On top of that, transportation, let's say you actually go ahead and you buy a car for $5,000. In reality, let's calculate insurance and gas, maybe around $100 every single month. Not that much money at all. On top of that, you have healthcare and utilities. Utilities, for example, like light bill, internet, water, around 150 bucks every single month. And also your healthcare, around 50 bucks a month. And on top of that, also other expenses for miscellaneous stuff, around $100 every single month. Now, if you were counting all of these expenses right here, the number is somewhere around $917 a month that you actually need to have some really good living in Dominican Republic, in Santo Domingo, in the city where basically people can't really afford to live there, and it's actually a pretty good apartment. Now, tell me, how much is $917 every single year? So what's basically going to be my annual cost? In this case, it's going to cost you $11,004 to actually go ahead and live in DR. Now, the math is this, okay? How much money do you need in the stock market to give you this amount of money right here? The answer is, if we use a 4% rule, when you basically just take out 4% of your portfolio every single year to limit your risks over the long term, the answer is, guys, all you need is divided by 0.04 is a portfolio size of around $275,000. Now, let's say, for example, you want to have a cushion of saying like, hey, I actually want a little bit more than this just in case something happens. In reality, let's say you just get maybe 30% more, right? In reality, it's around $357,000 that you basically need to actually go ahead and retire in Dominican Republic and never worry about money again. Now, one thing I didn't mention here is that basically the average person in the US earns around $50,000 every single year. That's the average salary in the US, because basically I spoke about poverty earlier, but not about the average salary. So basically, Tommy, how long would it take me to build a portfolio of this magnitude, okay? How much money would I actually need? So in reality, here's the math, guys. Let's say you need $278,000, right? To get you to that $11,000 every single year in passive income. Let's say you start investing with $1. That's all you have, okay? And you want to get this money in 10 years. 10 years is your deadline and also your goal. Now, on top of that, you're going to grow your money at around a 10% return, including dividends and also the rate of return every single year of the stock market based on a 30 or 40 year average, okay? In this case, when you click calculate here, all you need to do is invest around $1,453. Now, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but in reality, if you do this correctly, you get to retire in 10 years instead of working for around another 45 years in America. And you get to live in a nice home, a nice apartment, and so on and so on. And on top of that, if you don't want to do it like this, you can just go ahead and basically say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get to this goal by buying real estate. So let's say, for example, you buy 5 properties at cash flow, maybe $300 every single month, okay? Now, in this case, $300 a month in profit from a property, multiplied by 5, right? That's around $1,500 every single month. Multiply by 12, that gives you around $18,000, $7,000 more than you actually need. In reality, you're going to be making in DR somewhere around $1 million every single year. By the way, my friend had a full-time job working around 8 to 10 hours a day, making around 5,000 pesos every single month. Around 60,000 pesos, and you get to make $1 million, well, $1 million pesos every single year. That's how crazy it is, okay? So basically, you get to live a very, very good lifestyle without needing to have that much money. And overall, guys, okay, the point is, okay, obviously, if you go to DR, you're going to save a lot more money. But DR is not the only place. You also have Portugal. You also have the Philippines, Vietnam. There are a lot of places out there that the math is still the same, and in some cases even a lot better, because basically the living cost is even a lot cheaper in other places out there. So the answer is, when I think about this, I'm like, you know what? Would I actually go ahead and move to the Dominican Republic instead of going ahead and having to get, by the way, the number is this, okay, guys? If I need 300K to live in DR, which is a lot of money, I know, if I want to get $48,000 to live in the US divided by 0.04, I need around $1.2 million in my portfolio to retire in the US, okay? That's how crazy the amount is. That means I need somewhere around $836,000 more, which could take me between 30 years to 35 years. So the big difference is basically the freedom you get if you get to go ahead and move somewhere else. But guys, comment down below, okay? The math makes sense, but is that something that you would actually do? Would you go ahead and move to the DR if you could actually live off of just passive income? And by the way, if you want, you get passive income, yeah, right? But you can also still have a job out there and still make money, because what are you gonna do being retired for like the next 45 years? It's gonna get boring, right? So you still do need a job in some way. But guys, comment down below and let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like this video if you liked it. On top of that, also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified. And before I go, if you want to text me or talk to me one-on-one, join my Patreon link down below or send me a DM on Instagram at TommyBryson. And if you want to watch a full video on how I invest my money, here's that video right here. Click my face around. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.